Should be live. I'm not really sure, and kind of need a means to check that if I need to make adjustments to that microphone. I'm not really sure how. Yeah, this is gonna get kind of awkward because I'm gonna have to whip a laptop out over here. But I want to hear this and see if I need to kind of dial back the gain on this this mic. So. All right, where are we at? Yeah, we're celebrating 14K. All right, I'm not too loud, am I? That doesn't sound bad. So, invite live. Welcome to live chat. Welcome. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by community guidelines. Okay, I think I can do that. Front-facing camera didn't look all too terrible, really, all things considering. I guess. I kind of was hoping that I've got the studio set up going. That would make it the coolest looking live stream here on YouTube. I'm willing to talk about pretty much anything you guys want to bring up. If it's sneakers, I can probably pull a sneaker off the rack there and you can see me get up in my early 2000s Reebok workout shorts that I'm wearing right now. Hey, okay, so I was wondering, it says Sharma says, hey. Okay, so that's going to appear on screen. So I don't really need the computer out. Am I right? Go ahead. You can ask anything you like. I did open things up to the super chat. So local friend of mine, local fellow comic, Jay Shanice. She said when you go live here, as I did the other day, you should do it vertical. That YouTube just throws viewers at you if you go vertical. And she gets like thousands of people that are not subscribed to watch her. And I thought, okay, I'll do it. And you know what? I just reached 19,000 subs today. Sounds like a pretty good time to do it. You know, I could actually probably just open up Studio here and check and see if we're below 19,000. Nope, 19,002. Not too bad. Name a politician for an edit. For an edit? So what are we editing? MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's got to be fun to edit. Is that what you're looking to do? You want someone to edit? I'm pretty sure... Actually, do we want to talk about the debate? I'm going to bring up my... I don't know if you guys see this much in my videos here, but I did pick up a from Thailand. Here we go. Yeah, hold on. Is it on that side? Oh, here we go. Yeah, this is the Thailand version of the Stanley Starbucks. And I've got Kool-Aid in there. Okay, so you want to do a cool video edit? Do one of... Marjorie Taylor Greene's crazy enough. I think you have a lot to work with. You don't want to name somebody boring, right? So MTG, sure. But where am I going to put this? If this is a format people like, maybe we can start doing this on Fridays if provoked or encouraged or something like that. I try to do live streams on Twitch and I want to talk about things and not just play games, and instead no one really shows up. So I'm not really sure if that's a real prudent thing. Okay, so actually I had all this stuff set up earlier. About 2 hours ago, I shot my magnum opus YouTube video. So I'll tell you guys here a little bit about it, okay? It is the rise and fall of the action film genre. And it is going to be pretty long. I was kind of inspired by Jenny Nicholson and her like super awesome Galactic Cruiser video. And so it's going to be pretty long by my standards. It's not going to be 4 hours and Vanity Fair is not going to talk about it. It's not going to be featured in Rolling Stone and all this. It'll probably be 15 to 20 minutes. I'm not really sure how it's going to edit down, but it's going to take me a while to get to, especially because I usually have pretty time-intensive videos 5 times a week. So I'm going to have to work on that. I shot the whole thing, and I spent most of yesterday and this morning writing it. It's going to take a while to edit, I can tell you that. What do you think about the debate? Like a day ago, I think. Yeah, it started almost a day ago. Maybe, did it start about 8 o'clock my time, maybe? So fair warning here on the debate. I didn't watch half of it. I listened to it while I was tanning with my tanning lamp, which has been featured in videos. And so because of that, it didn't seem like such a disaster to me, relatively speaking. I think that I was expecting worse. And that's part of why I was kind of like, oh, Biden did okay. Like he had his peaks and valleys. You know, the uppers didn't quite kick in, but he had times where he was coherent enough. I was expecting far worse. I was expecting doesn't get to the podium, turns around. I'm gonna walk over here now. Oh, okay, like that sort of stuff, or turn around backwards, or getting denied a handshake. Like I was expecting real serious disaster stuff. Instead, he said something about beating Medicare, and then like Donald jumped on it. Normally, it is abusive to like jump on an old guy making a mistake. But if you're debating that old guy, you got to jump on him so that you look sharp. And weirdly enough, restrained Donald Trump, I'm kind of liking. I mean, he had all the deck was stacked against him as much as seriously it could possibly be. And no, I couldn't understand some of what Joe was saying half the time either. But because I was listening to it, I didn't see the mouth agape 1,000-yard stare faces. This Joe Biden does not look like he did when running against Donald. Not close. He's off. He's hitting that pose a lot more than he's hitting a stern talk about corn pop pose. At this point, he probably doesn't even remember who the hell corn pop is. His own fictional best friend, right? So he forgot the name of his imaginary best friend by now. I thought that Donald Trump did really good, all things considering. And he actually looks like he's lost a few pounds. Maybe hungry Donald Trump is preferred. Donald Trump as the incumbent, he probably feels like he can get away with too much. Now here he kind of had to understand there could be possible pushback, had to stay within some kind of lines, has to play chess where other people are playing checkers, something like this. I was also remarkably shocked at how polite and considerate the moderators were. Both of them very much just like Donald Trump, and they make no secret of it, but they kept it professional, so I will have to give CNN that. I watched on USA Today's YouTube channel, which I only found about late in the game. I thought, shoot, I don't have basic cable anymore. What's the alternative? Well, you can stream it with Max, as everybody should be calling HBO Max. And I'm like, not doing that. And then it said, oh, or you could watch on USA Today's YouTube channel. So that looked like a pretty good alternative to me. And it was a little weird. Sometimes I think the feed had a little trouble keeping up, and it would also pause during commercial breaks. So at least it wasn't subjecting me to that crap. But usually, and I was anticipating a response where the modern debate is my guy won, your guy lost. The one brand of media will say our guy won the thing clearly, and the other will be our guy won clearly. What really surprised me was the fallout afterwards over at CNN, where they are scrambling to get off the Titanic. That's what really got me. So, was Donald Trump fully responsible for January 6th, or was he lying? I think he had a lot to do with it. He was making it sound like people, well, I heard people are gathering, you know, and, well, I may as well be there and talk some sense into them. Like, that's the way he was presenting it during the debate. I don't think anybody's really buying that. If you were, that's unfortunate. But I think that Yeah, I think he had a lot to do with that actually. It not so much the rioting part, because he did say we're going to go in there peacefully, right? Like he said some of that stuff, right? I don't think it's really as big of a deal as the Democrats want to make it out to be, because it's the darkest moment in history. January 6th. I remember when January 6th rolled around the next year, and like no one were like, what's that? Because they want to make it like the new Pearl Harbor. It's the darkest day. One person died, and it was a chick who got shot by a cop. So, not much of an insurrection, if you ask me. Yeah, we're going to take over the government without weapons. Okay, if you say so, boss, whatever. Yeah. But, okay, so back to the CNN stuff. The way they all turned on Biden, as if they collectively decided once the debate is in session, that's when we can point out that he's not with it, that he's not cognizant. He has no idea where he is. He's Sleepy Joe, all this. That's the time in which we're allowed to say something. I'm not sure why they agreed upon it like that. It was clear with anybody with eyes, this guy has been lost since really coming to office or close to it. So I don't understand why they decided now is the time to push that panic button and subscribe, leave the notifications on, all that shit. I need a haircut, kind of, don't I? I don't like it when it kind of gets out to the side so much. But yeah, I think, and I've been saying for a while, they're going to find a way to slide Gavin Newsom in. It's apparent to me they don't want Biden to be the guy, right? Your most electable potential candidate would be Michelle Obama. Media darling, devout racist, but that doesn't get covered. It would be somebody Donald Trump couldn't beat. But she doesn't want to run for office. Well, what if we said you can run without the running? What if we just slide you in at the last moment and you don't have to be on the road and do all the running stuff? And I always feel like I have spiders on my feet now. I don't know what it is, but like 3 weeks back, a brown recluse was crawling on my foot while I was playing Overwatch, and ever since, now I just felt something. See, it's like it's gonna bother me. I'm telling you. So if they could convince Michelle Obama to do this without really going all face first into the running, like if you ever want to be president, this is the easiest route to get there. You just slide in, like that song from the Goo Goo Dolls, which I think is just as good as Iris, if you ask me. So yeah, Michelle Obama, don't rule it out, man. For real, yep. Well, I think we're proving Jay wrong, right? I'm not going to get any viewers. I'm not a chick. Why would anybody watch me, right? It doesn't matter if my picture looks good. I have studio lighting and all this stuff. Can't really use my like crazy expensive microphone setup because I have to have this connected to my phone in a way that my phone's doing all the work here. And also I don't have my Sony camera set up, but I'm trying. I thought I'd give this a shot, you know? What do you mean? You don't know? Hold on. Did you just ask the ball god of Xbox what he means in Overwatch? Do I not have, I don't know, 50 videos of me destroying teams entirely by myself in rapid montage? Granted, it's not much Overwatch 2 material. The ball's been nerfed so greatly, just the change in the gameplay. The game has never correctly balanced CC in Overwatch 2, where CC has so much more of an effect, and we're losing all of our viewers now, than it did in the original Overwatch, because all you gotta do is take the tank out of the game, right? Hold on, let me continue talking about Overwatch for just a sec there, Sharma. Am I saying that wrong? The tank, it can't just totally shut down by Sombra hacking, Junkrat trap, all this stuff. Now the tank's gone, the team folds. Everything revolves around the tank. It was so much better when you had a tank that could hang with the supports, and ball could be what I say, left to do ball stuff. I probably should live stream Overwatch, but it just makes me so angry to lose. I don't think I want to do that. And I would rather stream Resident Evil games or Metal Gear Solid or something that has a finite conclusion to it instead of we're just going to keep playing games. And then we keep playing. Like, there's no story to it. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand why people watch people play Minecraft or Fortnite. But yeah, I'm clearly the best Xbox controller, legit ball player. And I've been top 500 like 30 times. I totally wreck still. But I do have to have a team that is on board. A team that is willing to play with a ball. People will throw because, well, our tank is picking balls, so I guess we're throwing. And make it a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's been an ongoing issue. Okay, Sharma, can we expect LGBTQ agenda from James Gunn in new DCU? I would say yes. Now, I don't know if you guys remember this or not. I'm going to pull this up. What's her name? Rachel? Oh, come on. How do I not? I have a video on that, don't I? Why am I typing Rachel? It says no videos. Mrs. Maisel, right? Oh, come on. No, I had to lead that up. Did she have the power to remove my videos here? All right, so here's the thing. How much cursing can I do on a live stream here? Can I drop the B word? That actress that played the marvelous Mrs. Maisel, who's Lois Lane, I am not watching that Superman movie because of her. She convinced me to take down a negative review of Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and then went through my follows on Twitter and tried to convince everybody else to unfollow me in secret because she's a psychopath. I had a video illustrating this. I had the receipts. I don't know if I still do. They're screenshots. I might have lost them in transferring between computers, but I had the screenshots of this, and I'm like, I actually apologized, and I took the video down, and then she pulls this stunt, and just, it was just this, I can do whatever I want, I'm an entitled actress, blah, blah, here you go. And so I kept the receipts. I had a video, and I'm not seeing it. Brosnahan, right? Then again, I feel like maybe I have so many videos the YouTube search function doesn't work on Studio, right? Yeah, if you just started watching, I haven't... Rachel Brosnahan, yeah. I don't see videos explaining that on my channel. Yeah, I'm typing it in right. No videos. Now that is peculiar. Surely I had something else explaining, and I showed the receipts. I don't know. That is peculiar right there. Trying to make sure I don't have any evidence on the web against her. Because I think that if people found out about this, that could bring her down. It's that kind of like stupid vindictive thing they're doing over at Star Wars, over at Disney, where it's like, the fans are the ones who are wrong, right? Yeah, so that's what I know about that. I would assume there's going to be agendas. I don't have much faith in James Gunn. The way he elevated humor in and kind of gave humor such a green light in the MCU kind of infected the whole product. After Guardians of the Galaxy, can you take anything seriously? And I don't understand why he got all these opportunities. Okay, you made Scooby-Doo and a movie about slithering alien slugs. So what? I don't get it. So that's what we have to contend with in the MCU. And now the DCU is going to get them too. I mean, we've already kind of seen what touch he can put on with Oh, I get it mixed up. There's Suicide Squad and The Suicide Squad. Why purposely name your movies like this? That doesn't show me competency. So, I don't understand that. Oh, hold on. I think maybe maybe I named the video like I Let You Down. Oh, come on. Or I Failed You anything? How come that's not showing? Search across. I have the video has got to be here. It doesn't make sense. Most actors are weird creeps. Correct. Disney is over. Did you see The Acolyte? I have heard the term the Acadike, so that's cool. It's horrible. They killed Star Wars and Marvel. Was the stuff doing that great to begin with, in ways? Like, where are all these great MCU movies? I can point to great Star Wars movies, but after the prequel trilogy, was there anything there you really wanted to keep going back to? And even when you did visit Star Wars again, didn't you want to visit it in the original time frame, that setting? The Marvel stuff's kind of been crap for way longer than people are willing to admit. And it's going to take a long time for people to get there and be like, wow, we actually liked this stuff. You have to invest all this time in watching 70 movies to make sense of the next one. And that's what our grandparents did. That's going to be the kind of talk. Honestly, I think they need to stop making superhero movies. I'm getting real tired of it. I mentioned in my magnum opus, which I can't tell you when that's coming out, but I mentioned that there is franchise fatigue that could potentially lead to viewers wanting to see movies that are finite, that are maybe they aren't expected to launch a franchise. The villain actually dies in the first movie. Just that sense of accomplishment's really missing out of the superhero stuff. Anything can be rebooted, and it's so easily rebootable when it is a product that comes from somewhere else. When it didn't start off as a film and it needs a certain actor, you have to have Keanu Reeves be John Wick, or you can't make any John Wicks. That will be the logic anyway, for a time. Anybody can play Spider-Man. He was already in the comic books. He had a cartoon. That train of thought allows them to reboot this stuff whenever anything doesn't go as great as they thought it would. So I mean, I kind of am considering watching Deadpool and Wolverine, but I don't feel like I have to see it in theaters. But then knowing that I don't have to see it in theaters means you kind of have to see it on Disney Plus, and I don't want to give Disney that money. So there's that to consider. But I am concerned that Deadpool's going to make it overly goofy, and they're going to jump in and out of multiverse timelines, and the stakes will be nothing. By the way, if you had make the video and it's not here, they probably took it down. Like, this is unrelated, but Instagram banned one of my accounts because of the C word. I thought I called it I Let You Down, and I'm not seeing it. So I'm probably going to have to do the search the old-fashioned way on YouTube, right? Have you guys noticed how bad YouTube search has gotten, like, intentionally? I can't type in things to find my videos with my channel name and the title, and it's like, no, go watch Critical Drinker instead. Why would you watch that guy Von Jug Vlog? Why would you do that to yourself? So, I failed you, Rachel. Let's type that. No. If they took it down, I mean, all it really tells you is just a video's missing. You can't really see what's missing, I think she probably has the power to get that sort of thing done. I wouldn't put it past them. I'm pretty sure it was on this account, on the Jog Vlog. It was like 2017 when I did the video. That's when we were chatting on Twitch or Twitter, which I don't think I still have. I think I probably, after I screenshot everything, deleted the conversation. So yeah, I don't see anything there. Lost, man. Yep, censorship got me. Man, I really hope Trump can fix our economy. This is bad. We're slow as hell at work. We got to stop this whole green agenda. Oh wait, what? So you're slow at where you work? Like, what do you do where everybody's slow? Green agenda and climate change hoax is just ridiculous. Trump will provide pushback to that, and look, I try not to be wasteful. I don't go out of my way to pollute. I'm pretty good about recycling. I kind of think that reduce, reuse, recycle is reasonable. But I also like my fast cars, and some of them are gas guzzlers, right? I mean, I had a car that had the gas guzzler sort of tax back in the 90s. I wasn't driving in the 90s, but my first car was like a 90s Japanese car. So, I mean, I can't do that much damage to the whole place by myself, and neither of us can. It's really India, Mexico, China, the places where they run like unregulated, and we're the ones who are expected to somehow like bend over backwards and put money into like Trump was saying, why would we put money into this Paris Accord garbage when no one else has to, right? So yeah, it would be good to relax some of this stuff just to work on energy independence first, and then you can try to clean stuff up. Otherwise, what good is it if China and India overcompensate for whatever good you're doing? And our gas burning cars are way cleaner than they've ever been. They're cleaner, more efficient, more powerful than ever. Why crank up these stupid restrictions to the point that the way Biden wants to do this, it is, well, I can't ban gas cars, but I can make it impossible to buy them, like impossible to sell at these standards, de facto banning them. And that's the way the government likes to ban stuff. Hey, hold on, man. We didn't ban books. We just made it so you can't buy them. Like, that'll be the kind of argument, right? Stance on Ukraine. I haven't really given them a lot of thought. I mean, a lot of things that don't concern me that much, I don't really try to get into. I have tried to listen to both sides on this matter. I have no idea why Russia would want parts of Ukraine that bad. I think that this is actually more about China giving Russia an audition. Hey, you want to be part of the next world war on our side? You want to be on the winning team? Let's see what you can do with Ukraine over there. Let's see what you got. And they screwed that shit up, and now I don't think any of us are afraid of Russia. I mean, do you really think Russia would have any chance starting any conflict with the U.S. now? So at least we've got that going for us, right? At least now we don't have to be afraid of Russia at all. So, I mean, they've got a bunch of lying scoundrels running Ukraine, so it doesn't make them sympathetic either, right? Sometimes it's just good to root against both sides. I'll say that. Keep the questions coming. They don't have to be a super chat or any of that. Oh, hey, we have like a filter I can apply. What am I on right now? Ooh, this gets more hideous by the second. Beam is just whiter. Let's just go with no filter. I mean, I spent enough money on lights, I shouldn't need a filter, right? Then it looks like there's a clipboard over there. What are we doing? Time coding? Like, what is this? Edit? Maybe you push that and it pauses the chat? I don't know. What's the wheel on the chat here? Chat filter. Top messages. I'm just going to go all messages. I don't want anyone feeling left out over here. Reasonably clean, yeah. This whole stop using gases and switch to battery-powered cars and crap. We got to drill, baby, drill. We have vast energy reserves. Russia wants NATO out. From what I gather, Russia is already surrounded by enemies and NATO is encroaching after promising not to. Exactly. It makes it so easy to root against anybody in this conflict. It's not a good position to be in if one wants to look like they're good. And I kind of feel the same way with the Israel-Palestine thing. It's like Israel, Netanyahu, he was looking for a 9/11. He was looking for something to happen. Probably had intel telling him that there was a planned attack on a music concert. And he's like, oh, okay. And we want to do something about that? Let's see what happens. Oh, now we get to aggressively go into Gaza, and you can't do anything about it because if you say anything about us attacking, you're anti the S word, and you will lose all your money, and you will not pass go, and you will not collect $200. You'll never work again. So they've got that, always having that one hidden in the pocket. So you really kind of just have like, oh, well, and Israel thinks they can do what they want with them because we know they're the bad guys over there in Gaza, the Palestine. They're the ones that strap the bombs on. They can't be good. So yeah, of course we can go hunt them down. All right. America placed special forces troops in Taiwan a few months ago, I believe. Thoughts? I have not heard that. Actually, I may have read something. It always sounds like moving people around, training exercise sort of stuff. Though at this point, anybody dies in a training exercise, I'm assuming it was actually covert ops. That's what I'm assuming these days. Says here, welcome to the live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide. I must have said something that was not up to community guidelines to get that message again. And China, okay. And China is having a tantrum. I wonder what would happen if people pulled out all of this manufacturing in China. Does their economy collapse if we start building things in America again? How come things get outsourced to China yet more expensive here? Doesn't make a ton of sense to me. Shouldn't having your iPhone made in China mean it costs less than $1,000? I would have thought so. But hey, they don't pay me to make iPhones. I feel like you could make the same iPhone here for the same price is the way I see it. I mean, the people getting the tax or the price breaks, it used to be about saving money in the consumer. All these lies you're told in business classes, right? About how you cut costs and you pass it on to the consumer. Oh, right. Yeah, sure. Oh, that's rich. Man, I don't know if okay, so it's Taiwan. Is Taiwan the one where John Cena had to apologize in Mandarin because in order to keep his fledgling movie career going, because he said Taiwan? That is one of the most spineless things you could that has certainly ever happened or you could imagine. Like, that's pretty bad. So now after that, anytime I see John Cena, I just think, so this is why you apologize to China. So that you could make vacation friends. Okay. Shit. All right. Hey, we got to get more likes going, I think. And then it'll move me up the page. And then people will have to watch or something like that, right? I think one of the reasons why YouTube's kind of pushing the live stuff is that it sees this as super engaging stuff, like the direct engagement with the viewer equals more screen time, more watch time. I don't think people fully gauge how much power YouTube has in as far as platforms. Because think about all the stuff Netflix could possibly make. They can't touch the genres available on YouTube. You go to YouTube to figure out how to get achievements in Overwatch, how to do tutorials and build stuff, directly talk to people. You can't get this on Netflix. You know, it's sort of things that YouTube could excel at if it didn't want to have to try to be television. Fortunately, in recent years, it looks like they're starting to realize that. I'm so glad they shut down Cobra Kai. Remember, Cobra Kai was the crown jewel of YouTube Red originals? And it was like, oh, so Daniel LaRusso over there, he gets paid up front to tell his story, and you over here have to buy all your equipment and acquire your fan base somehow by trying to fight up the search results. Okay, totally fair, but everybody's going to have Cobra Kai jammed down their throat. So I'm glad that left, and it's more appropriately, with its production value, more appropriate for Netflix to have. Nice point. Why offshore manufacturing while there's no upside at all? We lose jobs, correct? We lose jobs, prices go up. We don't have the jobs to buy the stuff we were supposed to be buying. It's terrible. And Donald Trump saying 10% tariff, right, on all that stuff coming in from overseas. Why isn't it even higher? Like, it shouldn't the incentive at the very least be the government gets paid for this? What are we doing other than washing bribe money in Washington? I think we have 2 steel foundries. China has like 200. Yeah, but that's because of like EPA stuff, red tape. We could have them here. It's not like they're so much more abundant in natural resources than we are. Like the US is in a great position as far as natural resources. I think we're way too vulnerable with the supply chain. That is the mutually assured destruction right now. It's not nuclear. It's about wrapping up everybody's economies in each other so that if one guy goes down, we all go down. Enemy or not. That's a great way to live. Ah, gee. It's like there is no success, right? Like there's success on the individual level, but then you really have so little impact while being successful or supposedly thinking you are. Currently playing Overwatch right now is Doomfist viable. Okay. Until the last couple of weeks, Doomfist has been tearing completely off. It took me about a month to fully adjust to some of the changes with Wrecking Ball, and now I can destroy any tank with a little bit of help from I get a little help from my friends. But anyway, Doomfist was destroying my backline and just eating, okay? He's probably not as good now, and the thing you have to understand with Overwatch is it's not, did my character, my choice character get nerfed? It's what buffs did everybody else get, and by not getting a buff as well, you have therefore been nerfed. Something has happened that has changed the power dynamics, and now Doomfist is destroyable. He's hard to play as. He's one of the worst tanks for me. Look, I have 7,000 hours in Overwatch. You are talking to that who has no life. And I can't play Doomfist for shit. Some people can. The way in which he delivers damage, though, that burst energy of one hit dead, is very favorable right now. Because people get the healing factor is too strong. They've changed it a little bit. You can now claim some kills with the lesser damage tanks. But just being able to kill somebody easily, one shot, one kill from like Widowmaker or Doomfist Punch. What does Reinhardt call it when he dashes into him? Those sort of moves that do huge damage at once have been very in lately. So you could try Doomfist. People aren't going to complain about it too much. You might get good. Have you played Wolf Among Us? Wolf Among Us? No, I've played Among Us slightly. I think on my phone. I think it's on Xbox Game Pass, but that's the only Among Us I tried. What is your opinion on me, a Hanzo main? Hanzo I have seen gathering some relevance lately. I got killed by a Hanzo a couple days ago, and for a good month-long period, it seemed like he was AWOL. Like, people weren't picking him. Sure as shit wasn't killing me. Wasn't posing that much of a threat. I'm not a huge fan of his kit. Sonar arrows. Oh, wow, you told me where they are. This isn't a game where people sneak up on you. You know where their spawn is. You know when they died and how long it takes them to get back into the fight. The dragon arrow, when Overwatch was brand new, it killed. People were confused. Now it's incredibly avoidable, and it rarely kills shit. So, I don't know. And it's a tricky thing because it's like, this is a guy that is so analog, yet he can be hacked by Sombra. How does Sombra hack a bow and arrow? Please tell me, right? At the same time, you're dealing with stuff that should behave like hit scan. It does a lot of damage, but it's I guess a fast moving projectile. I can't hit anything with the bow and arrows. If you can do it, I'll praise you. Whatever. Telltale. Oh, you're right. Yes, I have heard the title. I've seen it around. I think a lot of those Telltale games were on Xbox Game Pass, if they still aren't, or they were given away free as like a games with gold incentive type thing. The only Telltale game I bothered with was The Walking Dead. It got Game of the Year. It's got to be worth trying. It did a few things okay. It made every encounter feel like there was value there, but so many of your choices, it's like, okay, do I take this choice or this choice? Oh, now we take these choices, but then you kind of come back together. Like the forks in the road kind of end up coming back together around. So your choices, maybe they compound over your playthrough across several seasons of the game, but I just really couldn't get into it. There's not a lot of gameplay there. And I say this as a guy who said that Hellblade 2 is my game of the year. Okay, you don't really have... You're playing the story. This isn't the type of game where you have control over the outcome so much, and a lot of games don't have an outcome factor like this. I was playing Resident Evil 6 the other day, and I saved some humans. You never do that in a previous Resident Evil. Now, did it have a huge impact on the story? But no, you could do it. In Hellblade, every fight is required. There's no optional thing about it. And I think there was a point where I saved a girl in a sword fight and she ended up getting stabbed anyways. But I have to go back and see what happens if you don't save her to know if she then doesn't get stabbed because she got stabbed 10 seconds earlier. But in a game that is about decisions and stuff, it just doesn't make sense to me for it to feel like they don't really matter in the way that it does with the Hellblade. So I thought Hellblade, the graphics is almost like the gameplay element. It is so incredibly immersive for not being a VR game. And maybe they'll have some kind of VR release on PC. I'm watching my son playing Far Cry 5 on PS5. He's like, he likes The Walking Dead Telltale. Far Cry 5, is that the one with the cult family in Montana? Because if so, that's the one I played. I think that's it. The 6 is how does he pronounce his name? Giancarlo Esposito. I don't think he says Giancarlo, but I think that's 6, right? Have you played Resident Evil 4 Remake? Yes, and I gave it a negative review. And look, I kind of invented rage bait before it was a thing. Check out my review of Hollow Knight. But I know that in order to get people to have eyes on your video reviews, it has to be amazing or it has to suck. There is no in between. It's the same bullshit with politics. The middle of the road candidate doesn't ignite the base, and the base is the people who go out there and protest, go out there, hold up stop traffic, require everybody to vote, the people that really put all their effort into pleasing Senpai. But I have problems with Resident Evil 4 Remake. In months back, I got to get back into it. I do need to clean up all the achievements. I revisited the game when Separate Ways came to it, and I preferred the Separate Ways campaign, even though The Chinese actress who plays Ada Wong is trash, but I did like her kit better. I I didn't mind the story for her campaign so much, and it actually felt like worthwhile $10 DLC. Did I feel a little bit cheated by the way the game difficulty works? Hell yes. Straight up tell you that. I ended up buying the like $10 worth of special premium tickets so that I could put together an S plus run by just dumping money into good weapons. And I did that I did get one of her weapons to like infinite ammo, or I did something with one of her guns or something so that I could actually finish the game outright. Because I was just getting destroyed by one boss, and then I had to try not to save too much because it was like, don't you have like a save limit when you're trying to do the S runs? But I finished the S separate ways, so I feel like if I did all my other stuff, I got everything else cleared up and had Leon situated just right, I can make a run at the New Game Plus S run for him too. But the game's such a slog, and there's weird glitches that made those speed runs quite possible, and they removed them because I didn't do it quick enough. So you got to get everything out of the way with the game now before they patch it and make it hard as shit. So yeah, I missed my chance to skip massive chunks of the game. Gates that you could like teleport through by backing up and whipping out your sniper rifle and all this stuff. Nigh impossible to find collectibles unless you buy the treasure map, and then that means you talk to the merchant, so you can't mark that achievement for not talking to the merchant during the run. And I was trying to get a lot of things like a no healing, pistol only, no merchant run out of the way, and the game said no. So there we go. I much prefer the original Resident Evil 4, and by original, I mean the Xbox One version. I tried playing on PlayStation 2, did not care for the controls. Xbox One gives you pretty good controls for it. The game looks perfectly fine in the high definition render of sorts it has for the console. I played that in early 2020 before the lockdowns and was quite amazed by how much I liked that game. Best Far Cry in your opinion? The only one I've played is 5. I played the story. I thought it was all right. I have issues with all of the Far Cry-like aspects. Actually, you know what? I played the most recent Far Cry. Yeah, Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora, or as I call it, Far Cry X Avatar. That's a Far Cry game. It is. It's guys waiting for you to go kill them. And that's the problem with all the Far Cry stuff. There aren't really set pieces like you would get in the old Halo games where it felt like there's a danger here. We have to progress. The ship's falling apart. It's blowing up behind us. You don't return to it easily. All this open world stuff, nothing too bad can happen because they got to get you to go back to that building later so you can grab all the collectibles. And the way how, oh, well, that's a level 30 enemy over there with the red skull on him, so you don't want to go fight him just yet because you're not geared up. You have to, all that leveling up nonsense, I hate it. Yeah, so the Far Cry stuff, kind of a turn off. I did play Blood Dragon also. I found the humor in that pretty decent. Very self-referential humor, 80s synthwave stuff. Michael Biehn was fun. But yeah, I played Blood Dragon and Far Cry 5 and Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. Hard to remake something that was perfect like Resident Evil 4 on the GameCube. I have always heard that the game plays better on the GameCube than it does on the PlayStation 2. I don't know what that is exactly, if the controls are somewhat different. I do know that you don't get that separate ways on the GameCube, so some people say, well, in the original you got all the DLC for free. No, originally you didn't actually have that DLC. You had to get the PlayStation 2 version to get separate ways. I think choices actually mattered in Detroit Become Human. Haven't played that because I'm an Xbox lifer and I am doing what I can to get Capcom and Xbox on the same page and bring Marvel vs. Capcom to Xbox. I can't get that out of my mind. That has me so incredibly pissed, and it feels like it is an Xbox decision that is causing that. Xbox being, we decided not to support your game engine anymore. You have to come up with something more current gen system now. They still want to call this stuff next gen over here. I feel like I'm not on next gen, I'm on last gen. I can't get 60 frames per second in every game on a next gen console. And you have the gall to put 8K on the box. I wasn't it on the box? I've got the box somewhere, I think. I know the PlayStation 5 box used to say 8K and it doesn't anymore. Far Cry 3 is cool and 5 is good. I never played them, but my son does. I watched. Primal is cool. Oh, yes, I played Far Cry Primal. I reviewed it. I liked it. It has some of the same kind of problems with Far Cry where it does feel like there's enemies around, but as your tribe expanded and you could see them hunting, I thought that was actually pretty cool. And as caveman game sort of stuff goes, we probably have a ways before we can totally perfect it, but it felt like a pretty decent caveman simulator. Yeah, I liked Far Cry Primal. I should have mentioned that. I played that on Ubisoft Plus alongside my playthrough of Far Cry X Avatar. So yeah. Caveman fighting the Mastodon. Yeah, I mean some of that stuff it didn't really get old, and the like top predator hunter things was pretty thrilling. And then yeah, you get a little OP. You know, you have like a cave bear that can jack up anything for you. Totally realistic, right? Yep, I agree. The was perfect nostalgic. TH was perfect. I don't know what you're exactly saying there. Maybe Resident Evil 4? I don't know. Consider playing the Red Dead series. It is really good. I played a little bit of 2 on the Xbox One. I think I rented it from my local library. Which I may have to look and see if they have Xbox Series X discs. That might be a good way to get into some other games that are not on Game Pass. But, yeah, I mean, it seemed pretty cool. I saw some crazy funny glitches in it. I think I rode a horse in a train car and bad things happened. But I was, as weird as this may sound, I was kind of put off by the violence, just the way you could destroy somebody who was just like some simple lady who was taking a broom to her porch. You could destroy her life. Like it. Okay, I guess you can do that in reality too. It doesn't mean you should, right? But in the games, you feel like you're kind of obliged to get away with it. I was overall pretty impressed with it, and the graphics looked really impressive, but I don't think the frame rate was there. If I play it on Series X, I don't think it actually has a next-gen patch, so you can't even get these 60 frames per second, and it doesn't look like they intend to do it. Xbox for life. What the freak is a PS5? Exactly. I've seen them for sale in the wild. I don't actually. I know one gamer or two that I play with that has them, but it's just unfortunate that Xbox is ran so poorly. Hey, let's have a console with 0 exclusives. Oh, well, but they have exclusives. They're not on PlayStation. Well, they're on PC. Invariably, everyone on Xbox is expected to become a PC gamer. Hell, if I'm going to turn around, face a desk, and hunch over a keyboard to play some games, damn it. So, that's how I feel about that, in case you couldn't tell. Man, you need to play Detroit Become Human. There are more 80 endings, so I have to beat the game 80 times, or at least load up the last checkpoint. Man, that is a lot of busy work. Sometimes I just don't want to get into something if it looks like it's going to be a 70-hour redundant fetch quest activity thing. I hate all the Bethesda stuff. Every time I try to give Bethesda a chance, and I need to get myself a drink, it is just, hey, can you go over there and get this for me? I can't seem to do it myself because my walk path has me limited to sitting in front of my store. That's just every damn game with them. And then some people are just enamored with it. And then people tell me, oh, well, you got to try this Fallout over here. You tried the bad one, 4. You should try New Vegas. And then I look it up and it's like, it's going to take you like 150 hours to beat. And I'm like, do I want to put myself through that, right? I've been playing God of War Collection on my modded Vita. Wish the new Gear, are you saying God of War or Gears of War with that GOW? I guess people just say Gears now. Wish the new God of Wars were more like the old ones. From my understanding of it, and I've never played the series, it was more of a like Batman Arkham Knight, Arkham City type thing, like a big brawler beat 'em up sort of event where you had intricate dodges and stuff. And now when I see images from the new Dad of War stuff, ever since he decided to become a Viking, I don't see any of the combat in the damn videos. Am I missing something? Or did they try to turn it into Uncharted? Like, what happened? Xbox for true patriots. Man, it is so weird seeing what does end up on Xbox sometimes, because when you had a PlayStation back in the day, I don't like the term PS1. It was a PlayStation when I had it. Hell, some of the magazines called it a PSX even. But PS1 retroactively, once they had the small, kind of quaint, girly version, they called it a 1, ONE. Having Resident Evils and the Tomb Raiders there, and then you can play a Tomb Raider on an Xbox, it just kind of seemed like, wasn't that some of the stuff, it just seems so tied to the Sony identity in ways. At least that was my perspective on it. Yeah, Dad of War seems so slow in comparison to the originals. You know, you play some of these Resident Evil remakes, you realize how little combat there is. And I did record an RE5 and RE6 kind of combo review. So that'll probably be coming in the next week. I gotta go gather clips. That's always fun. The Resident Evil 1, hell, 0, you can lump 0 in there too. 2 and 3, there are so few enemies relative to Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6. And you cover so much ground in some of those games compared to others. Resident Evil 2, so little ground. Resident Evil 1, so little ground. I think 0 is the same way. 6, you sprint like Gears of War roadie run, and you have zombies that can fly at you. The zombies attack you in fashion that feels more like Left 4 Dead than Resident Evil. It doesn't, as far as 6 goes, I do feel like it is an improvement over 5. The combat is better. The way the NPC partners handled better. I wasn't too bogged down in the menu system, but at the same time, it didn't feel that much like Resident Evil when I was sprinting everywhere on a first place. There was no reason to go back, and even the game wanted you. Yeah, Dead Horse. So comparison, do you think they things down? I can't. They do now. No concern about getting involved in. There's a lot of girls that play Overwatch because there are characters. Pick this chick, hold the right trigger down, and follow me. Yeah. Oh, the dreaded RE6. I didn't think it was so bad at the time. Ada's clone was a weird twist. Okay, so I have questions because now I am totally caught up on Resident Evil. Now that I've played, well, I didn't play her campaign. I played Leon's campaign, but is Ada a clone the whole time? Or is it possible she actually dies in 2, and when you meet her again in 4, that's a clone? It also found it kind of weird that Chris just is talking to Leon on the comms, and he's like, hey, Chris, one thing. Ada Wong is dead. Okay, bye. And then 10 seconds later, Ada Wong shows up in a helicopter, and you're like, oh, you can fly a helicopter. It's kind of like, are you saying the Ada I knew, or did I ever know an Ada? Like, what are we doing? Yeah. Well, I mean, it depends on what you value in a video game. God of War 3, for example, has great gameplay, but the story lacks. However, in God of War Ragnarok, the game is more drawn out, but has a. Is Ragnarok the latest one? Like the second Viking? Or was that the first Viking one? He grew a beard and started hanging out up north, right? For 2 games, I think. The graphics look really impressive from what I've seen of it, but it does. I have not seen anything that looked like super intricate combat, like I used to see clips from with the old God of War. Yeah, Ragnarok is the latest with Thor. The well, I guess he's got to run across other gods somehow, right? I mean, shoot, I guess that makes sense. Am I gaining any subs? See, Jay said tons of people who aren't subscribers will check out your live stream. And I've got 3. So maybe she's just straight up wrong, or she's been doing enough live streams that she's popular with the live stream algorithm. And the algorithm like, oh, Vaughn hit live stream by accident. So that's probably what it's thinking I'm doing. The channel has gotten a long overdue, I feel like, renaissance with The Boys. I mean, I've been kind of driving home some points on The Boys since 2019. Man, the show been out that long. Yeah, and everybody wants to give the, oh, you're just finding out it's woke. Hilarious. I'm like, kid, I've been doing this for a while. But I thought, well, I've got some renewed interest. I'm actually getting subscribers each day. I'll give some live streams a go. Maybe that's the next step. Fat Thor, huh? I mean, to be fair, the story only works in Gears of War 3. Even bringing up Gears of War this much, games I don't know shit about. Kratos is the guy's name, and he's the god of war, right? And that's... I've said about as much as I can there. The Boys, huh? I'm not too crazy about this latest season. I thought that the latest episode had some redemption. It didn't go after the easy target so much, but it did have some fun at the expense of Disney and kind of like the fanboy culture. Everybody getting overhyped for garbage. I mean, things they have to be so interested in that they're going to like regardless. Yay, more product for me to pay for. I love how Disney said, hey, black kids, this movie Black Panther is super culturally appropriate. You need to leave school early and go see this movie. Oh, pay us money. We did it for you to make us more money. And then somehow if you then point this out, you're racist. So yeah, real great trick you did there, Disney. I meant God of War 3. Yeah, season... Did I say Gears of War 3 or something? Surely I didn't. Season 4 kind of dragged. It's still going. We're probably, 5 of 8 episodes, I think. The show has a thing where, in a lot of these streaming series do this, there's a villain for a season. Does that make a season feel fulfilling to be like, okay, we completed the arc... We introduced the villain, and over the course of that season, killed the villain. Imagine a series is built that way. It kind of makes it easy to skip any middle season. You could theoretically just go to the last season where things are finally going to have these plot threads sewn together, right? I mean, am I wrong about that? Or does it give you a sense of fulfillment that, yay, we accomplished a whole story during the season? It's just kind of the way that I guess that works. Maybe there's good seasons doing it, and there's some shows that can do it the other way. I don't know. What else is worth checking out? Somebody last stream was saying... The Night Agent, I do intend to get to that. Who knows? Maybe I'll start it tonight. I don't know. I was thinking about sitting down and doing a commentary track for Street Fighter II, the anime movie. I have issues with that film, but I got the 4K disc fairly recently and I still haven't watched it. But I had other stuff I want to do 4K, watch and do commentaries. Crocodile Dundee. One of my favorite movies. I looked it up on IMDb and it's like a 6.6. Like, I was like, are you serious? Like, this is a movie that should be yeah, that's the first one. 6.6. Are you shitting me? I gave it a 9 out of 10 on IMDb. I do not give those out. In fact, I'm not even sure why I didn't give it a 10 out of 10, to be honest with you. Crocodile Dundee is a movie that should be as beloved as Back to the Future. Like, in the kind of way where you say, well, if you don't like Back to the Future, I guess we can't be friends because you must be a terrible person. 6.6 out of 10? Like, serious? So what do they think of the second one? Now, I think the second one has major problems. It was not ready to become an action film. Maybe in the hands of somebody more competent directing it. But yeah, 5.7 for Crocodile Dundee 2. It has some cool moments early, but once he goes back to Australia, boy, does it become the slowest, most boring action movie of the day. Wakanda Forever. I saw clips of latest episode. It had animals on V attacking them at a farm, and that was kind of funny. Just emptying rounds into bulletproof chickens was kind of funny. But part of the problem with the boys, Victoria made an alliance with us this week. Okay, now she made an alliance with Homelander and group. Now we want to make an alliance with A-Train. But only for a little, and they just go around in circles because they don't have the balls to actually kill off main people who have a contract. In a movie, people could die at any damn point. Now, as the Acolyte goes, my understanding of it is the latest episode, they killed off like some Jedi who had pretty prominent roles on the show thus far, who kind of seemed like they would go the distance. And that took some balls. In fact, the villain of the show, not that it was like a huge surprise. I've only been watching the Star Wars Grift channels make fun of it, so I don't have to actually buy Disney Plus. But the villain, like, he actually laid down the law, and he wasn't giving people the what is it, Mythic Sister or whatever, the second sister, the black girl from the Obi-Wan show, where it's like, oh, well, if you stab the guy but you don't slice through, he might live. No, this guy's like, oh, you know, I ain't walking away from 3 stabbings, so shit, I almost have to give them some balls for killing off some folks, especially you got a black Jedi getting killed and like a scrawny white girl with a weird looking head. Well, that's a little unexpected, yay Disney. Love from here in Australia, mate. Oh, retired Captain John Price is Australian. Now, John Price, isn't that a Call of Duty character who's like always in Call of Duty? I would like to go to Australia, but I would have to have financial incentive. I'd have to like do a show in Australia, like that would work, and have to have like a litany of hot babes lined up for me before and after the show. The Australian girl accent, incredibly underrated. That works for me. What do you think of Starlight's face? Oh, you mean Skeletor? Warmed over? Jesus. Oh, actually, in the latest episode, maybe it was the lighting, maybe the injections wore down by the time she shot this, or maybe she shot this out of sequence. I don't know. She didn't look noticeably that bad. But sweet Jesus, were there some scenes in her homeless shelter or whatever previously where the eyes are like glued to the outside of her skull. Like her eyes are sticking out in a weird way. And you can see her skull in a very unnatural fashion is what it looks like. And somebody advised her to do this shit, I'm assuming. Or some doctor wasn't willing to turn down a paycheck. It may be plastic surgery. Maybe it's this filler. Look, I've seen things, man. I've seen things on Instagram. Some of this filler stuff is working. Like, we're finally turning the corner and some people are getting plastic surgery and it not turning out like trash. Or maybe that's just temporary injectable stuff to fill where places were sinking and losing the war to gravity. Now they fill that back up. Some of these girls, man, they're like 45, 50, and they're looking 25-ish. Like, obviously their husband or boy left them and they're having to get back in the game. But they have the tools to get back in the game now, apparently. Kind of unfortunate because I kind of like looking young for my age and assuming all the hot chicks from my high school now look decrepit. And now I have to assume that they've got a guy buying them this stuff too. So it's like, I just can't win. I guess when I get 70, I'll know they're ugly for sure, right? That's what I'm hanging on for. I want to know that everybody looks like trash. All my enemies are having it worse somehow. Starlight was so perfect before and hot. I think she had the boobies done too, because she was pretty flat, and now even outside of the Starlight costume, she looks like she's working with more there than before. So I think that she went in and was just like, give me the full service treatment over at O'Reilly, you know? While we're here, may as well do the whole thing. Yeah, it did look weird. Maybe a mix of weight loss and a little bit filler lips definitely look different. The eyes look particularly off-putting once you notice it. Once you notice how it's weird, like it's like she doesn't have eyes, but they're put on outside of her skull, because like you can see the curve going in, and it doesn't look like a regular human face. It doesn't. It is very Skeletor. But hey, somebody decided that's the look she needs. I remember first seeing her dying, I think, in the first episode of the Kristen Ritter superhero thing, where she has strength and the purple guy tells her what to do. Jessica Jones. I'd have to look it up, but apparently the girl that plays Ashley was also in Jessica Jones. And I don't exactly remember her being on Jessica Jones. So maybe she was like her secretary for a bit. I don't remember. No, I think she was like a neighbor that caused a problem, or she told him to shut up. Something like that. Maybe that was it. She be looking like a burn victim masquerading as a normal person. To some degree. You know, oh man, this is not going to go well, and where's some knock on wood. Kind of envious of the burn victims because they don't age. Like, look, if you're hitting 60 and you're looking kind of decrepit, a little bit of an acid attack, okay? Now, no one knows how old you are, right? And if they say anything, you can have them canceled. So, yeah, I mean, it's a bit that probably should go in my stand-up more than online, because online everybody has to have a fit about everything now. So, yeah, burn victims, the way to be. The VP is hot, the head popper lady. Her nose is a deal breaker. Those Indians, I think all of them have a bad nose, and then the Bollywood actress ones, right? They're getting their noses done. I'm pretty sure of it. That in order to be viable in the movies, they had to get their noses done. Otherwise, it was no movie career for them. That is my guess on that. Well, how about we wrap this up when we get to the hour 30 mark, and I will go water my grass because it hit 100 degrees, and I should have a little bit of time to do that. It was 100 degrees when I started the stream, and it's supposed to be like sundown at 8, but really it's more like 9 or something like that. But yeah, we've got about maybe 15 more minutes. The head popper lady, Victoria, I'm trying to decide if she that bad of a person. If you haven't watched my latest video on The Boys that was posted yesterday, because I mentioned something there where she doesn't come across written like a bad guy in the way one writes a bad guy on a show now. At least that's the way I feel about it. So it seems to me like they're straddling the line here, and maybe it's one of these lesser evil scenarios. Okay, we can let her be vice president and assume president as long as Homelander's gone. So yeah, I guess that could be the thing, you know. Hey, if she helps get rid of Homelander, go for it. But at some point, the rubber's got to meet the damn road. And I guess the problem is Homelander's like the breakout character, so why would you get rid of him, right? But if the whole goal of the show is to do that and you have means to do it and yet somehow you change your mind at the end of each season, like who wants to keep putting up with that shit, right? Yeah, the nose, I kind of like it though. She, LOL, she, whatever. Yeah, I mean, not everybody's going to be put off by it. I'm really only interested in like the hottest of the absolute super hot. And so I know one of you mentioned that Detroit Become Human. I guess the main girl or somebody, she's Firecracker. She's looked cute on The Following, and she was on The Tick as I think Arthur's sister or something. And that was Amazon Prime things, The Tick. She doesn't really look as cute here, and yeah, she's getting a little old in the game, 38. But I think the Firecracker character is interesting. I'm also quite charmed by the fact that her power is so useless. She hasn't had to use it in 5 episodes. They just said, "What's your power?" And it makes a firecracker sound instead of a snap. It's like, wow. Talk about differently abled soups. Jesus. All right, man. Have a good day. I think we lost Captain John here. Or we're about to. Well, I want to know what you guys thought about the live streams. Is it a good opportunity to interact and whatever? I reply to way more comments than I think most creators do on YouTube. A lot of people had said it and forget it. Oh, wait, you paid me with a super thanks? Then okay, I'll read your comment. Thank you. You know, that's about all they do. And yet somehow I'm the bad guy for pointing out how evil they are. Isn't that amazing? Jesus. But I kind of think that the chat thing, it could actually be a good way to get some opinions expressed on the channel without having to make more videos, without having to make specific, because there's a lot of things I don't feel like really deserve me sitting down, writing out, shooting, and editing for the latest gossip about some crap. I do need to go to change.org and sign the petition for, hey, Xbox, Capcom, get on gear with this. There's not a good excuse for you to be skipping Xbox with this Marvel vs. Capcom arcade release. It would be one of the few games I would outright buy, sight unseen, because I know what's in it, I guess, and I would like to be able to play it on a console. It's kind of what it comes down to. So there's that, right? Actually, the previous fighting collection, the 30th anniversary Street Fighter, it does have FPS boost on Series X. So when you play it, you can get HDR colors, and maybe higher frame rates go along with that too. I don't know, but that might mean that could possibly apply to Marvel vs. Capcom 2 even, which could be pretty cool. All right, bud. Good day, mate. Yeah, well, I guess we lost retired Captain Price. Oh, man. Yeah, sun's coming down quick over here. I probably need to get going within the next minute, honestly. Unless you guys want to keep asking stuff here. I got to go soon, too. I subscribe, though. You play Street Fighter, controller, or arcade stick. You can't get arcade stick for Xbox. So it is controller, and it's wonky as shit. I guess the more ideal controller really for Street Fighter would be like a Sega Genesis with the 6 button all on the face, because it's weird as shit where they put like the hard kick and the hard punch both as like on the right trigger. the right trigger and the right bumper instead of opposite. The way what one would have thought, left bumper punch, right bumper hard kick, right? Roundhouse and the strong fierce punch or whatever. Okay, you would have thought that because that's the way it is on Super Nintendo with a similar kind of layout, but no. I think you should focus more on shorts and videos first. You don't like the live streams? See, I thought I was doing a good job live streaming, but I do think that there is a way to incorporate shorts, and sometimes I just think, hey, it's easier to put a short out today than a full video, and they get mad views up front. They don't do great in search, but then again, my videos don't do great in search either these days. So who cares, right? Just get that bag while it's there, right? But stuff that I feel is evergreen and should be a video, I do want to have videos on. Yeah, so that's kind of the way that is. There is a way to also make the shorts that go to your video. I will have a short that kind of redirects people to my video about the action genre, and I might actually try to do several shorts that then, to learn more about the action film genre, check out this video. You know, try to get more shorts kind of to steer traffic towards it. I watch a lot of YouTube videos of competitions. I love the Street Fighter lore and stories. I know very little about the lore. It feels like there's a fair amount of retconning, and unfortunately, being not involved with Street Fighter V, as I don't have the... I've been on the Xbox ever since playing Halo. I was like, that is my system now. I never played Street Fighter V, so I'm kind of out of the loop, and trying to catch up in World Tour mode still didn't seem to help a whole lot in explaining things. Rick says handsome. It's the lighting. I've got good lighting, man. That's all I've got. Actually, I probably should have this light over here a little more. Because this is vertical, it's not even really showing up all that well. Actually, that light's kind of dim. So, yeah, this thing's wanting to wrap up one way or another, I guess. But you need to create a good fan base or subscriber base to get more views on lives. That's what I thought. So I'm just going to have to tell Jay, I don't think you understand. Like, you're a girl and you have a good fan base because, one, she makes focused content. She only talks about, like, the kind of like black girl driven reality shows, Love Island or something like this. And so she's built the base and she exclusively talks about this one thing, but she tells me she wants to quit doing it because she's burned out on it and she wants to focus more on stand-up comedy. And I'm trying to tell her the stand-up comedy thing is the shot in the dark, 1 in a million, and it's who you know, and since you're in Wichita, you may as well not know anybody. So you're better off just building that base on Love Island, right? Because much of everything that works on YouTube is built off of a brand people are aware of. People aren't just really making original content and telling jokes without it being, hey, so we're going to talk about Star Wars a whole lot. You clicked on this because you're familiar with Star Wars. That's the reality of how things work over here. I want to love Xbox that Bill Gates was involved. It makes it hard to do so. He does make it hard. And they keep screwing stuff up. That's the Xbox brand right there is you will play what we tell you to play and you'll pay as much as we want you to. Bill Gates is the pinnacle of elite type, entitled vaccine forcing, wants us to eat bugs and own nothing and be happy. While he gets to not eat bugs and drive his Porsche 959 illegally in the US to no ramifications. I know the story. All right. Shouting a bit much here. Probably going to get hoarse. Every time I want to wrap this up, it ping pongs from 2 to 4 viewers. So I don't know what you guys want me to do here, but I think we do need to wrap this up. I kind of wanted to water, and I'm losing daylight pretty quick over there. So, yeah, I thought this was fun. It's a little less work than making an actual video everybody would ignore. Unfortunately, the live stuff doesn't work after the fact, does it? Like, you post a live, you don't get more viewers for it afterwards. People don't say, oh, hey, one of the creators I like made a 90-minute video I can leave on in the background while I do chores. they're just not even notified of it. It's like, well, it's live, sure, but it doesn't show up as one of your videos. It's on a special tab of its own. All right, Wade. All right, everybody, good night. I know it's up to 5 viewers now. I subscribed. I'll check your videos. Okay, Wade, quick. Did you find me because I was live? Because if you're finding me because I was live, then that kind of makes this worthwhile. Otherwise, if it's only people who were already subscribed and they're also 95% not watching, then I'm not sure if it's that worth it to everybody. But maybe this will take off at some point. I mean, I've seen people with worse lighting doing this, right? I was just scrolling and you popped up. Okay. Is there something more I need to have on the title there? Like, we're doing in the TikTok challenge, or how about that debate last night? See? All that sort of stuff. Can we reach 20K? I kind of thought do this as sort of like a 19K celebration and see how that goes. I guess I learned my lesson. All right, I'm gonna go. Everybody was good hearing from everybody, and I'm not sure what I'm gonna post Monday, but I'm gonna have a lot more videos. I've got a lot of things in the can and a lot of stuff to shoot and commentaries and all that stuff. Mist just got here, I guess. It's fan service pretty much, no channel growth. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I was checking the stats here. I started out at 1902 subscribers, and now I have 1905. So if I keep this up, now, all right, I'm going to sign off the way I do all my other live streamy type things if I push this button right. All right, I subscribed yesterday after watching Tell Me Why review. Oh, yeah, that... And I like some of those games too. I liked the first Life is Strange and True Colors, not so bad. I think a new one has been announced. I don't know how different that's going to be, but it's a sort of game that takes some getting used to, but I just don't think that Tell Me Why does it. The story doesn't work for me. Oh, you were just guessing, Mist? Okay. I think you're good. You're good. The video was perfect. You definitely interact with comments. Hey, you're not paying. You guys ain't paying for super chats, and I'm over here answering the questions. I don't know why people want to watch somebody that ignores you until you pay them, but that seems to be the model around here. So that's bizarre. All right. Yeah, I see the sun going down. I will check you guys out later. Maybe we can make this a Friday thing. I don't know. Maybe Friday evening isn't the good time to do it. I'm going to have to look into this a little more and tell Jay I got as many as 7 viewers at once. Okay. All right. Take it easy. If you made it this far, wait until marriage. Counseling. And then I'm going to push this button, I think. And then I'm going to hit end, and this is quite unceremonious, right? Bye.